Yeah, man, welcome to the show. Who's the black guy with the mustache? He's older. He was on the... Shut up, Rumblebean. He was on the... maybe Def Jam comedy. The short little guy that knows who everybody is. He attacked him for stealing stuff. Steve Harvey? Yeah, I saw Steve Harvey saying that he was a comedian, broke, no money, and he kept saying, God, you know what I mean? I'm ready. I've been doing the work, God. Like, let it happen. And he was like, God was like, nope, not yet. And then he got a call to be on some big televised comedy thing, like big thing that he's known for. It was the first time he was on TV, and he hasn't been not on TV since. And he had, I think it was $30, and he was living in his car. And he had $30, and he had to get to New York, and he didn't have enough money for gas to get there, and couldn't get there in enough time because he was living across state. And he was like, I think he asked his parents, and they were like tough titties. And then he got a call. I'm butchering it, but just the meaning of the story is the main thing. I saw this like this weekend, which works out because right after I saw this, something happened to me. So he gets a call from somebody that says, hey, man, will you do this gig? And it was one night, and I think it was for like $150. And he did so well that they had him do the next night. I think it might have been 2 nights or 3, but he ended up getting enough money to buy a plane ticket to go to New York. Then he was in New York, and Rumblebean, I'm telling a story. I know Rumblebean hasn't seen me for a week. But he got the money for a plane ticket, went to New York, and did, I think it's is it the Impala? How do you say it? Yeah, like the Apollo. I knew I was saying it wrong. I knew that was a car and one was a place where you did comedy or whatever. Anyway, he did the show. He got to New York, did the show, and he was like, and I've never not been on TV since that day. And he'd been doing comedy for about 5 years, I think, in his car. And I think right before this is when he got offered the gig, and he was like, and he didn't have the money, and that's when he was like, right, look, God, you said, because he kept saying to God, I'm ready. Like, I'm good enough. I'm ready. When are you going to give me my shot? And God was like, not yet. This is him telling the story. I know I'm massacring it. Sure. Look, I've been awake for half an hour. I'll get into that in a minute. But so he's like, that's it. I'm going home. I'm driving back to my parents. I'm going to crash there. I'm going to get a job. This isn't for me. And that's when he got the call to go to the Chevy Impala. And then he didn't have the money, and then the club got him the gig, and then he got the money to get the plane ticket, and then he went and he made it. And he thinks God was like, you're not ready yet until you're ready to quit. Now you're ready. Because God tests you. I don't know for sure, but I believe he might be like a Christian of sorts or something. When they talk about the Lord a little bit, like the Lord's like, my name's the Lord, we have like a direct, I don't know, what'd you have for lunch? Well, I had a burger, I had fries, good for you. Great, praise Allah. Hell yeah, love it all. But that's how he saw it. So, I am watching this video in an Airbnb with a lot of people. When I woke up in the morning, there were people asleep on the couch. A lot of people. And it's been a long time, which also tells me that I have been silver spooning it for some time now when it comes to my life. For instance, this house. I have a pool. Way out of my price range. But at the time, I had a girlfriend. She had a job. She was like, I'll pay some of the rent. And I was like, oh, I don't have to get an apartment because I was trying to find apartments. And they were like, yeah, right, 5 dogs. So 1 dog died. So now I've got 4, but you're still not getting an apartment with 4. Hey! I don't know what happened. We used to be podcast buds. Remember? We networked together. Bean and the key in like, dude, bruh. Okay. So anyway, I'm awkward around people. I know it's weird because I seem like such a jerk off, but I don't like people I don't know. It's not that I don't like it. I don't like I'm uncomfortable around people I don't know. We share a bathroom. I don't like sharing a bathroom. Once again, silver spoon champagne problems, man. Got a bathroom. I don't like it. I'm hiding in this room until it's time to do a show. I don't want to shit on anybody here. Everything is fine. It's really tight. And look, I get a lot of money and I buy everything, anything. I save no money. I have no money. Things get tight and I lock up. I can't, it's like I'm full gay or I'm strictly monogamous. I don't have an in between. You know what I mean? Like, look, I like weed and drinking and kratom and stuff. I can't. I just go, wah, all the drugs, all the pussies. I can't. I can't do casual beers on the weekend. I can't. It turns into crystal meth and anal. I know. I don't like it, but that's what I am. So things are extremely tight. And I took a gig last minute to Tahoe. It wasn't the biggest paying gig, but it was a gig, and I can't say no to anything. I'm a little bit running around. I'm going to Utah tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff going on. It probably wasn't the greatest of ideas, but I need the money. And I'm also thinking you need the money, so when you go, really don't spend any money, So the first day, I think I got the Airbnb is. It was a drive. It was like it seemed like a 7-minute drive from the casino to the house, up and down a hill. Mountains up to the top of a mountain. I guess I was off on the timing on how long that drive was. The first morning, I went out into the living room and there's people on the couch asleep and I was like, ooh, it reminded me of, there was a time in my life where that's just kind of how we rolled. You know what I mean? There was always people falling asleep everywhere. They're all drinking and partying. I'm not. I'm up 5 hours before these people. I don't want to disturb them. I got to get out of here. So I got an Uber one time, right? It was $48. And I was like, I can't get another one tomorrow. It's chipping into the money that I'm making while I'm here. So I thought to myself, I got up and I had more people on the couch now. And I'm like, oh, I got to get out of here now. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put some shorts in my backpack and I'll walk it. I'll walk down, 2 hours later, I'm walking down this hill and my hip's starting to give out on me. And that's, prior skateboard, I don't care, whichever you want to call it. I'm injured, I'm a bit mangled. I'm stretching it out. And I'm walking down the hill and I'm like, I like this, but I'm just telling the story. This is it sounds sad, but it's not. It got sad for a split second and then I laughed it off. But I'm walking down this hill, right? And I'm doing shows. The shows are weird. That's in a casino. They're not packed. The person that's headlining is not a big act. I have more pull than they do. And it's not a pissing contest. It's just what it is. But there were a few people that came, but really not that many. We're in this house with everybody. I'm trying to get out of there, and I start walking. And I'm walking down this hill, and I'm like, man, this is comedy. This is some gigs are cool, and some gigs are a bit rough. It was not my. I'm hiding. I'm hiding from everybody, and I'm trying to get out. And where I go is I don't even really want to go there. I'm just trying to get out. And I'm walking, and it's about 2 hours in, and then I look on the map, and it's another 50 minutes, and I'm like, holy shit, dude. 3 hours? Like, I'm in the mountains, and I'm walking 3 hours, and my hip's giving out on me. And then it dawns on me how much money I'm making to do this weekend. And it's 4 days. One day I miss. Well, he's doing it into the microphone now. He might be done for the Jason Ellis show. That is crazy. It's like his new thing is he comes in and then he wants to leave. Anyway, I'm walking down the hill. And don't message anybody. Don't try to throw anybody under any buses. I want to make sure everybody knows what I'm saying right now. I'm not mad at anybody, all right? I got no beef with anybody that's involved in this story. I'm walking down the hill. It's been a couple of hours, and this is the devil says to me, "You know how much you're getting paid for this?" And it's like 4 days. I'm silver spooning it. This is not a lot of money for 4 days. I could be going somewhere else. I could be home resting. And then it dawns on me, and this is the sickest part of my mind, that how much money I'm getting for this is 2 weeks worth of money that I give my ex-wife. And that's because she's giving me a deal, because I really owe her more. Now my brain is adding up that really it's about, for me to be here for 4 days by myself, we're talking all day, all night, hiding in a room, not eating food I want to eat. I'm living off beef jerky. I'm walking right now for 2 hours because I can't afford to spend money on an Uber. And this is 1 week. All this money is going to her for 1 week. Then there's 3 more weeks. And I started laughing, and then I almost started crying. It almost broke me, because that's what the evil part of my brain, and I think a lot of people can relate, where you tell yourself something that isn't real, but just for a split second, in that little, my hip giving out and the heat, I'm sweating my ass off. And I'm like, old Jace would just get an Uber. Old Jace wouldn't even be here. Old Jace, and it's like, dude, that's not what is right now. That's not what is real. And there's other money that you make. You can't just, you're splitting it and making it the most painful way you can think of it. But then I thought of the TikTok I saw of the Steve Harvey guy, where it doesn't get good until it breaks you, until you realize, because that's the other thing. Very spoiled, man. You don't, like everybody else that's listening. You guys are in the same. I make more money than probably most of you. Where? This is the most bullshit where story ever. But it hit me, It hit me in a way that really struck a nerve. I was like, what are you doing? What is this for? And then I realized, I was like, because this is what I am. Like, this is how it's going to go. And because of that, I'm walking. This is the other good thing about it. I got headphones in my bag, but I'm not doing it. I'm not running. I'm just sitting with it. And I'm like, figure it out, Jason. Like, why did your brain say that right then? Because it really, like, if you had to see me walking down this hill, here's the other thing. There's no sidewalk. And the hill, cars are coming up and they're beeping their horn because they don't want to run me over. And I'm like, I don't have anywhere else to go. Do you want me to go into the woods? I have to be on the road to make it down to the fucking lake. My hip is killing me. I would have rented a car. Old Jace would have rented a car. I can't rent a car. I don't have a car. I don't have a fucking car. It's getting tricked out for free. See what I mean? But now there's money that's involved. And I told the guy, I don't have any money. And he's like, really? Not even? And I'm like, he's like, what about a credit card? I'm like, dude, don't make me do this, but I don't have any money. I don't have any credit cards. I don't have anything to give you. I can give you a skateboard. It fucking pissed me off, man. And then all this other, dingo, all this stuff that I care about, that I just I take it, I don't want to go anymore, man. I want to quit. But I believe that these people see me. I'm not quitting. I'm never going to quit. And that's why I'm going to make it. And then I did this show, and I had this thing in my head when I did the show. I'm sitting there by myself. They got these other comics. I don't know, maybe they're new. The main guy, the headliner guy, he's just like, he's PG, like, I don't know, he's a nice guy. The other 4 comics before me, they're new. Like, one of them's a school teacher. It's not his job. And I'm looking at the crowd, and like a quarter of the crowd are like 70 years old. And I'm like, this is humiliating. I'm going to bomb for enough money to pay my ex-wife 1 week. This is fucking crazy. But then I was like, who fucking cares? What are you fucking... Stop talking to yourself like that. Wake up. Here you are with another opportunity. Make the 70-year-old couple laugh with your disgusting humor. If it's that good, they'll laugh. And then something just came over me where I was like, I don't fucking care. I just don't care if you don't like me. I've got to be true to myself. And I have heard other comedians talk about it in a way like that, where it's like, don't answer to anybody. Do what you know. And I came out and I fucking killed to an audience of people where I would have thought at least 45% of them were like, you absolutely not. This guy is inappropriate. This is vulgar. I purposely cussed more. I might have even said, don't like me. I don't fucking care. This is how it is. And then Sunday night, I went even harder. And I killed even harder. And the couple that I saw before I went up on Sunday that really made me check myself whether I should commit to being who I am or just doing like the Tony Hawk joke and being mellow. The wife came over to me and was like, look, I see a lot of stand-up comedy, my husband and I, and you are definitely not my demographic or your style, but I found you to be incredibly hilarious. I could not stop laughing. I think you're amazing. And she doesn't realize this, but like that was the biggest compliment I probably had in my comedy career, because I remember looking at her before I went backstage and was like, man, I like old people. I don't want to bum anybody out, you know? Seems like a lovely couple that are at the casino and they're like, let's go see some comedy. You know, I didn't know that they'd seen comedy before, but I definitely had a vibe that they were like, I don't want to see some dude talking about sucking a dick and doing crystal meth. But I came out, I made up stuff. I did crowd work. I wrote a joke in my head from a situation that happened in the afternoon. Like real fucking skill. You know, and I don't mind saying that. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed to fucking bitch. I'm not ashamed to fucking brag. You know? I got evil people in my mind that talk a lot of shit. I'm also a fucking force. You know? I'm a fucking force. My drive, my skill, my fucking dedication, you can't fucking touch me. It's only a matter of time. And that means don't quit. And that means sometimes you hear this evil thing in your head where you say the worst thing to yourself. I can't do this right now. Whoever's calling me. I'm on a roll. Man, when did it start doing that vibrate thing? I have so many stories to bitch about. It's so much fun. So, I do these shows. You know, I don't sleep. They give me a hotel room for the last night. So that was cool. But I guess what I was really trying to get to was, I don't know how it happened, but you know, here's the other weird thing. I'm walking down this fucking hill for 2 hours. I see I got 50 minutes left. I've got all these thoughts going through my head. Another car comes up the road and beeps its horn at me. And I'm like, man, you know, I didn't say anything, but I'm like, can you understand? Like a motherfucker is on foot. There's no footpath. I'm in the curb. Like I'm not trying to get run over, but fuck you, you know? But I didn't say fuck you, but I thought fuck you. Then a truck comes down the hill and is like, Ellis. And I'm in an incredibly dark mood. Walking down, because it's like, I'm starting to, you know when you try not to limp, but then it just feels good? Because that's the other thing. When you compensate, you make yourself crooked. I've learned this from hurting myself so much. So I'm trying to not overcompensate and do this weird limp because it makes things crooked. I'm trying to stay on my toes and I'm like, oh, every time my right hip, and it's making me mad. Every step is making me madder. And I hear Ellis and I'm like, what? You know? And it's like, is that really you? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, what are you doing? And I go, I have no idea. Because I feel like I'm an idiot. Who walks that far just to get out of a fucking Airbnb? Just because, you know, what the fucking, what, Uber, I don't have the, idiot. Should have just spent the money on the Uber. All kinds of thoughts like that. It turns out this guy, with his wife and his daughters, is a fan. What are the odds? This windy road that goes up a hill. This guy's driving up it and he sees Jason Ellis and goes, I love Jason Ellis. I came to the celebrity golf tournament to meet celebrities and holy shit, there's a celebrity. He thinks I'm a celebrity. His wife freaks out and gets in the back with the kids. The kids freak out that I'm me. They drive me to the casino. 50 minutes they took off my hip. Saved me. Wanted to take photos. They think I'm cool. It made their day. Made my day. Also conflicting. You know? What are the odds that a person would give a shit about me walking down a road and I don't have the money for an Uber? Yeah. Oh, I'm right there. Oh. I go walking around. I eat because I hadn't eaten. I got a coffee. That was the other thing. I needed coffee. And then I go walk to the beach because apparently there's a beach by the lake. And I get to the beach and it says $30 to go into the beach. I can't do it. I can't. It also didn't look like it was packed. And I was like, I'm not giving you $30. I just broke my hip not spending money on an Uber. If you think you're getting $30 from me so that I can stand around with a bunch of fat people, you're out of your mind. So I walk off. Again, a little pouty. You know, a little like $30 used to be nothing. I'm like, dude, you do not spend any money here. You do the job, get the money and bring it home. Like you are hustling right now. You wait, you know what I mean? When things get better, then do that. But right now, like I said, man, I can't go down the middle. I gotta be like down here or up on the top shining. It's the only way I can do it. I can't justify it. I can't justify buying anything except food for the cats, dogs, and girlfriend. That's it. So I keep walking and I go, there's like these tourist stores with like the bicycles and shit. People can rent bicycles. And I saw the 3-wheeler car and I was like, I wonder how much that is to rent. And now I'm doing I'm diving into what I would do if I was still big time. Because I'd be like, I'll take the convertible 3-wheeler car and I'll just drive around the mountain all weekend. Woo! I'll go to all the skate parks. And I looked at it and it was $1,000 for one day. And right when I saw that, I was like, yeah, wow, nah. I'm not willing to spend $40 on an Uber. We're definitely not doing $998 for a fucking whatever. And fuck that car anyway. But I'm walking off and someone goes, Ellis. And I'm like, yeah. And it's the two guys that work there. And they're like, is that really you? And I'm like, I think so. And they're like, no way, man. What are you doing here? Cool. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I was going to go to the beach. It's $30. I was like, go fuck that. And he's like, there's other beaches further up the road. I was like, man, I've been walking for 2 hours this morning. My hip is killing me. He's like, take one of the bikes, mate, for free. I'm like, you're joking me. He's like, no, man. Fucking have it. So, again, recognized out of nowhere. I get a ride down to the fucking casino. Then I get a fucking free bicycle to ride. And then I'm walking past the restaurant and these two couple with dogs come over and they're huge fans. And I'm like, dude, Tahoe, what are the odds? You know, people kind of know me. I don't know what that sounded like just then. It might be a bit douchey, but it was surprising. I go to the beach is packed. I go further down, then I find a cliff, and I like scale down this cliff thing, and I find the water. I get in the water. That's what I'm fucking doing. But anyway, getting back to, I don't know where this happened or why it happened, but people have been messaging me about the Kratom thing, maybe probably because of the podcast that came out. And I got a lot of messages about some pretty scary stuff. I screen capped them and then I posted it as a reel on Instagram. Wow, did I start a shit frenzy when it came to that. Most people very grateful, people asking for help, how do you quit, how do you get off it, all that kind of stuff. So obviously I'm trying to help them as much as I can. When it comes to like, fuck you, works for me. Good for you, man. I don't think I think it seems like you're triggered because I'm happy for you. You know, if you drink beer and it works, I'm happy for you. If you smoke weed, I'm happy for you. It's a weird thing, you know, like if someone goes, hey man, alcohol can be dangerous, watch out, and somebody that like drinks every now and then goes, fuck you, bro, it's like the only reason you're saying that is because you're triggered. The only reason you're triggered is because you got a problem and you're in denial. But I'm going to Utah tomorrow for Vertalert, and all this Kratom talk had me realize that 3 years ago, I went to Vertalert. I gotta say this. I was gonna meet somebody in my hotel, and they were late. And they were gonna be even later. And I was like, that's fine. It's only practice tomorrow anyway. And this is when I had every intention to skate with, this was before I'd made that backside 540 where I had it in my mind because we're still doing Hawk versus Wolf podcast that I was going to try and do a backside 540 at Vertalert in the Legends demo. I'd been skating a little bit with Tony. Still doing Kratom. To stay up, I did some more Kratom. This is back before I realized what it was. And the only reason I know this or the date or remember it is because it was at Vertalert, and Vertalert is this weekend. So it all like full circled me. I stay up late. I wake up early to go to the ramp to practice because I'm trying to really practice because I know that I'm the announcer. But if I get my legs warmed up, maybe I can warm up a little bit. Tony even said, I'll MC when you try the 5. Like, we talked about it. I get up early. I go to the ramp. I think I'd taken maybe 2 rides. I lock up on a buddy jar. That's all I remember. The wheels hit the deck and it rolled me into a front flip. And I dove head first, 13-foot high vert ramp, head first, and I landed on the top of my head. Like, I've never done that slam before. This was a slam where things went bad and I didn't know, and when it got worse, I made no adjustments. I just fell head first, landed on the top of my head, knocked myself out, and did something really bad to my neck. Like, stuffed, you know what I mean? Like, I hit my head. I'm 220, dude. I fell 13 foot. I'm 220 pounds, and I landed on my head without my hands. I just landed on the top of my head with my 220-pound body over the top of it. And my neck was injured for over a year. Like, I could still feel it for over a year that I had done something to my neck that was pretty bad, which means I almost broke my neck. I never got an X-ray or an MRI, but obviously, like, I mean, if I'm Wolverine, then that's great news, but I don't think I broke my neck, but I think I did. I seriously injured it, and I think, you know what I mean, a little bit more weight this way or that way or whatever. I broke my neck. I could be in a wheelchair. I could be dead. I announced the weekend. I was not really home that whole day. The next day I was kind of there, but not really. Never really thought about it at the time. I was like, you're old. You've lost your step. And that's that. Not, I am so high that I don't know where I'm going, and that what I'm doing right now at this age on that amount of drugs is insane and so dangerous. And then that made me remember, because of the post that I've done about, because people are like, it's not that hard to quit, and if you do the M7 or whatever, there's different kratom. You did the bad one. I'm like, dude, fuck off, right? Like, I did the powder, I've done the pills, I've done the shots, I've done them all. Like, if you do a tablespoon before you go to bed, then fine. Once again, we're talking about if you have a beer after dinner, probably fine. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about people that have addictive personalities. But all I know is when I tried to quit the first time, I secretly started doing it again. Couldn't admit it to anybody. Then I was like, right, that's it. We're doing it. And when people ask me, I'm doing this, I'm weaning off, and what should I do? And I'm like, I did it cold turkey. Like, how could you do a cold turkey? Like, I can't talk, or I can't eat, and I can't sleep. And I'm like, I couldn't talk. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. It's like you're making a big deal of it. I couldn't eat, dude. I couldn't sleep. You're making it up. It's big. I'm not making it up. I was doing this for 3 days, sweating, with the heat, freezing and sweating, covered in blankets. I'd sleep for like 2 hours a night. Crazy pain, body aches, nausea, stomach in knots, shitting blood. That's why I'm saying it. Who do you think? You gotta know, I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm just like, if I die tomorrow and I didn't tell somebody, one person that it could help not do it or help get him off it. If your buddy owns Yo Creative, good for them. Good for you. Suck their ass. I don't care. I'm trying to help people. And it's pissing me off at this point. Because I forget. But after answering all these messages, I now remember, like yesterday, that it was fucking insane. I am fucking the Lord of War to be here and not be on it right now. It's like people that don't have addictive personalities, you piss on people, You think it's not, you're like, just fucking stop. I see what the big deal is. You ever been molested by a bunch of people when you're a kid? You ever have your fucking parents die in front? Like, you ever have, people don't realize that other people have really bad shit happen to them and they start running and they don't know how to stop running. All the things, life, death, bankruptcy, love, broken hearts. You know what I mean? I got no legs. My legs got blown off. Do you know what it's like? I don't. I can say it. I don't. I don't know what it's like to be black. I don't know what it's like to be... Oh, I do know what it's like to be gay a little bit. I don't know what it's like to be trans. So don't fucking make fun of it if you don't know. I mean, unless it's a funny joke. But if you're sincerely like, fuck that guy because of what it is, you're a bitch. Most of you are bitches. I see you on the streets, fucking cheese-eating slow motherfuckers. I'll tear you in half. All of you. You're always numbing. You're always beer, fucking the game, fucking cheese, fucking fat. Everyone's fucking lazy. Everyone fucking quits everything. You all think you're that shit? You all think you're so shit hot? What have you done? What is your resume? Fuck out of here. I'm not trying to tear anybody down. I'm trying to tell you that some people, it's very hard to get out of it. You know, the people that are reaching out to me like, how do I get sober? How do I do this stuff? That's the only reason I'm doing it. I'm trying to help them. Oh, fucking mental health, depression. Just fucking cheer up. Shut the fuck up. You know nothing, Jon Snow. You know, I did this for 4 days where I knew that the one thing that would fix it would be another dose of kratom. And I didn't do it. And then for 36 days, you know how I don't say 32 days or 35 or 40? Because it was 36 days. On the 37th day, I felt like I could be happy for no reason and stop rocking back and forth. And maybe, just maybe, if I keep going, life will be okay. 36 days. 40, if you count the first 4. 40 days. Doesn't seem that big of a deal. Do it! Do 40 days! Where you're going out of your fucking mind, your skin's crawling. Come at me and tell me this fucking shit's not that big of a deal. If I can prevent one person from going through that, because here's the other thing. I know I've been good at stuff. I know I could beat it. I've beaten things before. So I had that thing in my heart, in my mind, where I was like, you could beat this, Jason. But my body, everything in me was like, you can't beat this, dude. Just get some more kratom. Maybe do less, you know? At least smoke weed. But I wanted to be better, you know? These are all things God gave me. My heart given out. I've had heart surgery, like a thing. You could die. Your heart goes into AFib, you get electrocuted, you could fucking die. You're probably going to die early. How much longer are you going to be here? Can you do something great? Can you be something good before you disappear on this earth? You know, you just keep thinking you're going to make it and it keeps going on, and you just fart your fucking life away until there's the end. And you're like, oh, fuck, I wish I had well, I'm not doing that. I'm doing stuff. I'm going to be something positive before the lights go out in me. I am getting aggressive right now. Fuck yeah. I'm fucking alive. I'm fucking sober. I can help people. Can you? You know, someone's reaching out to me, I should talk to the fucking owners of Kratom. The fuck for? Some dude that owns Kratom's gonna tell me the fucking benefits? Great. Benefit yourself. I'm not trying to make it illegal. I'm just warning you. You know, and if I chip away at it and it's not the shit stuff or whatever, it's not in liquor stores, or you have to be fucking 21 to get it, good. You want to come at me? Come at me. I'll give you my fucking address. You can come right at me. Well, that's okay. You know what I mean? I'm not scared. I don't sweat any of you for anything. I will die being of service. What I do in my day now, I'm still crazy, you know? I'm still a crazy person. But like how I see things, how I see the world, it's painful. ignorance is bliss. I understand how it works. I mean, not completely, but a lot. It's painful to know. And sometimes the devil gets in my head and it's like, just run. Think of the worst thing ever so that you can really understand that it's probably time to switch off again. And then I come to my senses. Because God tells me, you're here to do something. You're here to do something good. So keep going. I'm here to make people laugh, and I'm here to fuck you up, Kratom. This is my war, and it's on. I don't know who else I'm going to fight, but right now, you're my bitch. I'm coming for you. I'm going to keep posting about it. Come at me. Try and give me a cease and desist or something. Fuck you. Fuck tobacco. Fuck alcohol. Fuck cheese, motherfucker. Fuck processed food. Fuck you. You're taking my people. Because we're all the same. The trees, the animals, the people, the air, the water, the fishies. We're all the same. And all this other shit makes you slow and foggy, You're like a goldfish in a cloudy fish tank. You think you're living, but you can't really see what's going on. And when you get clean and you eat clean, because there's levels to this shit, And I'm not saying I'm there. I ain't no fucking Shaolin monk, Every now and then I will fuck up a box of donuts. But I will also stay clean. My brain works in a way where I'm like, it's frightening. I see it. You go to the bar. They got the tacos. It's not that good of meat, but you don't care. You're drunk. You want some extra cheese on it? If you put extra cheese on it, the shit meat doesn't taste as shitty. If you deep fry it, the shit meat doesn't taste as shitty. Blaine, I'm on a roll. Or arguably not on a roll, and I don't care. I'm doing something. But I've put in the work, and I've been on the other side. I've seen photos of me when I'm in my fucking 20s, and I look worse then than I do now. How can 27-year-old Jason look worse than 53-year-old Jason? I'll tell you why. Because he's drinking and doing drugs. And it's, and some of you can have a beer and it's fine. And that's great. You get that little, I get it. You get that little buzz. You watch your fucking game and it feels better. You're more involved watching the game. But, I see the other side of things. I see, I'm at a bar the other day and there's a girl next to me and there's a guy here and there's two other girls over there and the guy's talking to the girls. He ain't doing anything inappropriate, but this girl doesn't like that this guy isn't paying attention to him because she's a little older and she's been around the block a few more times and she's a little self-conscious of it. And then she calls him a Tahoe fuckboy. And he goes, I'm not from Tahoe. And she goes, well, you're still a fuckboy. And everyone's a little uncomfortable about it. The guy gets up and leaves because this lady has called him a fuckboy in front of the other two ladies. Now she gets emotional because she realizes that was inappropriate. The bartender is like, that was inappropriate. And she's like, I'm sorry. I've recently had a breakup. Maybe your boyfriend was fat, lazy, and cheated on you. Maybe not fat, whatever. Lazy, he hadn't worked on himself enough, or you were like, you probably called him a fuckboy. I don't know. But for whatever reason, you are now alone. And how do you handle it? You drink yourself stupid at a bar on a fucking Friday. These two girls come over and console her for calling an innocent civilian a fuckboy. Like, you imagine if I called a chick a fuck slut because she was talking to two dudes? How is that appropriate? Like, who do you think you are? Women with the double standard thing, This is where I am going to sound a bit like a Republican. Shut the fuck up. Don't tell innocent people that they're fuckboys when you don't know who the fuck they are and you're blacked out like a retard. She ends up fucking, don't just stay, finish your beer. The lady say, finish your beer. And she finishes her fucking beer and then she storms off to go back to her fucking apartment and cry her fucking life away because she is drunk all the time, running from whatever the original pain was. She will never face it because she will always stay high. She will always keep running. She could quit drinking by any means. I don't care. Do a meeting. Don't do a meeting. I did meetings that seemed to help. I've done sobriety. I'm 53. I've tried to be sober maybe fucking 50 fucking times and it failed. But this one time I got a sponsor, did the steps. Somebody was there. They helped me. And now I don't seem to be able to, I seem pretty fucking good with it. I don't just go, I don't drink anymore. I'm very happy with not drinking. I don't want to. I don't want to cloud myself. I don't want to be the fish in the cloudy tank ever again. I love seeing reality. Does reality sting sometimes? Fuck yeah. But I know why, Like the same thing, walking down the hill, my hips giving out. This fucking money is going to pay off this person that fucking hates me. And if really they were nice, they'd be like, you know what? Fucking just keep your fucking money. You're fucking broke from paying me anyway. But no, and that's not her fault. She's worried about what, I don't know what she's going to do later on. I don't know what it's like to be in her shoes. To be like, I don't know what I'm not a radio, I'm not a comedian, I'm a skateboarder. How the fuck do I know what check's coming in fucking 5 years? She's got enough to worry about. But I don't run from it. I hit myself with this uncalled for, not even realistic thing that, the money, the car. It's just evil, trying to make you feel bad, trying to give you a reason to run again. Not run. Face it. It is what it is. Use it. God is testing me. And I will prevail. I will keep working. I will do comedy tonight to the best of my ability. And I will shine. A lot of people said to me that night, man, I can't believe I've never heard of you. You are one of the best comedians I've ever seen. Is he a comedy critic? No. Did he sincerely say that? And did he mean it? Yeah, he did. I do believe that. Just some dude. He didn't know who I was. I am good. I do have a skill. I have a skill because I have a drive and I have a passion and I fucking am not playing. I'm not playing at playing. I want it. And I am willing to do anything to get it. And that's how you all should be with everything you do. And if you don't bitch about it because it's your fucking fault. It's your fault. And cut corners. All in with everything. Sacrifice everything for what you want. How much money would you need right now to feel a little bit of relief? Not total relief, just a bit. There's a certain amount of credit card debt. So if that was paid off, that would be some relief. And it is an astronomical amount. And then there's the money that I owe my ex. Nowhere near as much, but still. So that if that was gone, that's it. That's really it. Those two things I pay every month. And because I pay it, I have no money. And it's irritating, you know? I work all the time, you know? I just got off a plane. I'm washing my clothes and I'm getting back on a plane. And it's kind of cool to be on planes. It's kind of cool. But a lot of them involve things where I'd be like, man, I'm really tired. You know, like that's the other thing. Being on the road when you're 25 is cool. Being on the road when you're 53, you know, like I train. That's the other thing. I'm like working people out. I'm like I get $100 an hour to hold mitts for people. You know, like if I didn't owe money, I probably wouldn't do it. I mean, I do like doing it, but when I'm really tired, I'd be like, you know, because you got to think ahead. You're like, man, you keep doing that, you're gonna be sore tomorrow. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna, you know. And I'm like, I gotta do it. Gotta go. You know. So those are the, you know, like the Uber or the fucking beach or the fucking, you know, like eat. And I'm like, I'm not gonna go. I'm not gonna eat. You know, like I got my beef jerky. Yeah. So those are the, you know. So I don't know. Probably. Let's see. I don't know how much I owe her. I should probably figure that out. I guess I just don't want to. I don't want to know because I know it's not good. I know it's a number where I'm like, oh, fuck, that's a long time. You know, probably. I don't want to say. Nothing that anybody here can fix. You know, I'll get out of it, man. I'll get out of it. You know, I got skills, man. I work hard. I love you for asking because it seems like you care, you know? Yeah, I love you for that. Thomas. Can't wait for the show in Utah. If you need anything. I got you. I don't have social media anymore. Good for you, Thomas. Blaine. Listening to talk about the struggles that you have is always inspiring, huh? You pick yourself up and push through. Let's see you getting better every day. I'll be there to support you in Atlantic City. Your girlfriend is coming too. Okay. Happy Monday, Jace. Thick Dick Nick. We love you, Ellis. Great pod today. Thank you. Thank you, everybody that listens. If people listen to this as a podcast, I do have a Patreon, and the Patreon is, there you go. If anybody does listen to this as a podcast, the free podcast, if they go to my Patreon, that's patreon.com/EllisMate, and they subscribe, that helps. You know, if you want to donate $50,000, I don't even know if I could accept it. I mean, I know that's a ridiculous thing to say, but I don't even know if I would accept it. You know, like I dug this hole. There's nobody to blame. You know, I don't think that. You know, I wasn't really. I feel like I knew I would do this, where it would seem like, well, you know, give him a break. I don't want a break. You know, I dug this hole. I'll get out of it. You know, I'm just trying to get you to understand that, like, there is struggles. Everybody goes through struggles. And sometimes when you go through struggles, if you can see the gift in it, nothing can stop you, you know? And I think what I was trying to say, because it's still fresh wounds, you know? But the struggle is, you know, when these things hit me in a way where I'm trying to explain to you that, like, things hit me in a way where I'm like, what's the point anymore? Like, I'm trying to tell you, when I'm walking down that hill and that shit hit me, I laughed out loud. I was like, wow. Because I was kind of laughing at how sick my brain is for going, you know, that's like a week, right? And I was like, dude. And then I felt the sorrow hit my face where I was like, I'm going to drop right now and bawl my eyes out in the bushes on a hilltop. Because I can't get out, you know? I got so much further to go. I'm not making it. I'm not Shane Gillis. I'm not selling out anywhere, There's no big thing coming down the fucking... Just, you mean, you ain't got a movie, you ain't got no deal. But it's good. It's good for me to feel that, you know? Because at the end of the day, when I feel this fear and this hardship, what do? You know? I get up and I go. And when I get my shot, I do my best. I give it everything I've got. And I could have bombed every night. And I'd still be here telling you, you don't give up. You know? But I think also it made me realize I'm a little tight when I do shows. I'm a little worried about how you're going to perceive me. And when I said to myself last night, I don't give a fuck. It's in my heart. I love this and I'm giving it everything I've got. You can fucking not like it if you want to. That's fine. But I'm not changing it for you. I'm doing what I believe. I'm a good man. I've got good intentions. I'm going somewhere. I'm here. Right, last text before I piss off. Oh, it's the guy that came to the show last night and I hit the marker and it bled everywhere. Shit, dude. Sorry. Wait. I guess I didn't hit send on the last one. Oops. Oh, well. How you doing? Keep clicking your tail and telling jokes. Hopefully see you in Ontario in the fall. Yep. I hopefully will be there. All right, everybody. Love you guys. Remember, don't give up. And try harder. You know? Be better. Because I see you. I'm out there looking. You could be better. You can take that any way you want. Fuck me. Fuck you. You could be better. We could all be better. Wake up. Get cracking. Don't die.